All right, so we're gonna go over the trades from today. So this morning traded SNGX $2,080.88. Did not overtrade today. It's only 10:30. I certainly could stay longer, but I have some errands that I need to run. I have some things I have to do, and so I'm gonna take off in just a few minutes, and this will be a small green day. Grateful to be green. Don't want to overstay my welcome. So why don't we go over the stocks this morning? SNGX is our leading gapper. It gapped up. Let's see, the gap was 150%. It's at 127% now. And pre-market, it actually hit a high of 322%. 322%, man, that is wild. That really is a huge gap. So you could see here, this thing it took off and up and away it went from $1.54 to $6. Now the 200 moving average is 631, 628 actually. So I was aware of that resistance, and that did end up being resistance. I didn't trade at the beginning of the move. The move started kind of early, 7:30 in the morning. I was sitting down, but I just was kind of like, I don't know, it's light volume. Let's just see what happens. In the last few days, I've been trading better during regular trading hours than pre-market. So anyways, I didn't trade it through this area, but it does a micro pullback right here at 418. I watched it and I was like, that does look nice. I didn't take it. I hesitated because of the 3 topping tails. I thought, no, I don't know. It's so extended. So anyways, it rips up here and then it pulls back. And at this point, I was like, okay, that's it. You've got your high a day candle, high volume red candle, and it dips down here to 440. And then I saw a bid come in on the level 2, and I punched it. My first order, I bought this at $4.43. So that was my entry right down here, 443. And this thing rips up to 5, goes up to a high of 523. Boom, that was it. That was the trade. That was my best trade of the whole day right there. First trade of the day was the best trade of the day. There was another dip that I got here off of 480. That goes up to 5. Got into a kind of a rhythm here with a couple dips. Dip off of 510 up to 550. Dip off of 520 up to 560. Hit a high of 6. Pulls back. Another dip here off of around 515. Comes back up. Hits a high of 588. So there were a couple more dip trades, which we traded. I traded at least off of VWAP. And then right here, this was a false breakout. And on this one, I lost about 200, gave back about $200 of profit. And that was my last trade. My last trade was at 8:30 in the morning. I haven't traded for the last 2 hours. I've been sitting here watching, but I didn't trade anything else, any more trades on SNGX. That one, it didn't make sense. So there were no other trades on that one. And SVRE was on the scanner, but a little on the cheaper side. Didn't really feel very interested in that. Commissions are going to be higher for me on a stock like that. So didn't trade SVRE. HCDI, that one popped up. It's halted down right now. So this was a really kind of tricky one. Look at these. I mean, halt up, move higher. Look at these candle wicks. These flushes, halt down, squeezing up, then jammed into a halt down. So that was some choppy action. TOP, this one is back around 100, hit a high of 108, then flushed in one candle all the way down to 95. Bounces back up to 104, dips back down to 93, 90, or 96. So that was pretty wild. No trades on that for me. NNOX, didn't trade this one, but saw that it's on the scanner, made a pretty nice move here. So that's certainly great to see. It's a daily breakout setup, right? So this was a continuation stock, so that was some nice action. But that's kind of where I sit here today. I may come back later after I run some errands, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Right now, I'm just gonna call it a morning here with this $2,000. So a relatively small green day, I suppose, but green is good. I can grab my trades here from yesterday. Yesterday was a small green day as well. I was able to get green yesterday on SNTG. I did that recap. SNTG had a really nice whip through 5 up to about 560. So I got a good trade on that one, but then it ended up coming down a bit lower. Oh, I didn't see that at the close. Wow, so it did it again. Golly, that's tough. That is some difficult price action. That's hard to trade. So let's see. Let's look at my trader view reports here and kind of check in with where my trades are at. I try to, well, sometimes well, right now I'm looking at these fairly regularly. Sometimes I'll take a little break and not kind of look at my metrics too much. I feel like sometimes I can get a little too fixated on the metrics. You know, just, I don't know, get a little like, just can't stop looking at them and then get frustrated when I'm not trading the way I want. And sometimes it's better just to look away. So anyways, had really good accuracy on Monday this week, 87%. Yesterday was 70, or Tuesday was 75%. Yesterday was only 47%. Was a little lower yesterday. Today's going to be pretty high though. Accuracy was pretty good. So these are just my last 30 days. Had a little bit of a drawdown on, I don't know, right in here somewhere. Came back up, dipped back down, back up, dipped back. You know, so there's some red days here. Still capping my red days at about 5,000. I'm not trying not to let them go too much more than that. There were a couple days I was down a little bit more than that, but I was able to recoup those losses, which was good. So this is kind of, you know, where I'm at, kind of just grinding the last 5 or 6 months. We can go back, let's see, to November. 190,000. So, you know, it's one thing that's definitely notable, trading less volume, definitely trading less volume than like 2 years ago. And winners and losers are smaller than 2 years ago. Both of them are smaller. I think this is a factor of my feeling that the liquidity isn't as good in the market, or hasn't been as good in the last 6 months, that when I've tried to take, you know, 15, 25,000 share positions, I seem to get a lot of slippage. And I don't know if it's my routing with my broker, or it's because I've seen other traders who seem to be taking big size without as much trouble. So I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's something I've definitely noticed. I don't know. It's a little frustrating. I had a trade on Monday where I got on 6,000 shares about 20 cents a slippage on my order. And that was pretty disappointing. I mean, that's $1,200 a slippage. You know, and then I got slippage on, that was on the entry, and I got slippage on the exit too. Well, maybe that's just the luck of the draw. Sometimes it happens. Top is a stock that you certainly could have gotten a lot of slippage on. In fact, this is one where I had a bunch of orders that I put out to buy it, not yesterday or the day before, but on, I guess it was Friday. And, you know, the market just jumped over my orders. I didn't get filled at all. So I had a limit, but I didn't get slippage. I just didn't even get filled. It was jumped over my orders. That can be frustrating. You know, sometimes you'll have a stock, especially a stock like Top, you know, you put an order on the bid right here, and the second you put your order on the bid moves up like that. You put another order and then the bid moves up again. So that's the market maker algo responding to orders and really trying to cut in front of you. That's been happening for forever. That's nothing new. But when you're trying to buy at the ask and you don't get filled, that can be a little frustrating. So anyways, I've been trading a little bit more conservatively in terms of share size than I was maybe last year at this time. But, you know, trying to kind of just get comfortable, and this is all about managing risk. You know, we know that trading is risky. So for me, I'm doing everything I can to mitigate my risk. And one of the risks that I've faced in the last few months is getting into a position, sizing up, but getting a lot of slippage on my entry. And then when I finally decide to sell, I'm getting a lot of slippage on my exit. So a 20,000 share position, if you're getting 20 cents of slippage between the entry and the exit, that's $4,000. If all of a sudden that becomes a only $1,000 winner, on the winner, you're like, man, that was nothing. And then the time you get a loser, you're losing $5,000. It starts to feel like that's not adding up. It doesn't make sense. Now in the last week, we have seen some really nice action. Really in the last like month, we've seen some really good opportunities. Started with GFAI in April with the AI stocks, and then we had a bunch of Chinese stocks in the last week. So right now, we've definitely seen some pretty good volume on some of these. Not all of them, but some of them have been really good with volume, and that's made it easier to get in and out with bigger size, but I've still been a little timid to do it. So it's kind of the funny thing, the way you can acclimate. So if you start sizing up and you're just punching the order for 5,000, 10,000 every time, you kind of acclimate to it after a little bit. But then once you kind of scale back down to, you know, 3,000 or 4,000 every trade, you acclimate to that. And then going back up to 8 or 10 or 15 feels like, whoa, okay, this is gonna take a second. So anyways, just kind of thinking out loud, but that's where I'm at here for today, sitting with another green day, which is good. I feel like my job is consistency, just to try to be as consistent as I can. I'm not trying to by any means hit home runs or roll the dice or take high risk trades that could produce really, really high rewards. I don't feel like that's not where I'm at. So right now I'm just trying to come in each day, get green if I can. If I'm red, cut it sort of at 5,000 more or less, and then live to trade another day. So, you know, that's where I'm at right now. If the market does keep heating up, if we do see more momentum, you know, there'll be some opportunities where I can step up a little bit more. There were a few trades this week where, or not this week, but last week, the last week and a half, where I was kind of timid, and then finally it starts to open up. I step up to the plate, and then I'm like, I'm into the top. So I'm like, gosh darn it, you know, the moment I finally step up to the plate, it's like that's the top. So I got to be a little careful about that. You know, being timid, and then adding back too high. It's better just start aggressive and then actually be a little more conservative as it goes higher. But, you know, sometimes I do the opposite, and sometimes it works. But I noticed a few times in the last week that some of my biggest positions were near the top. And, you know, if it had continued an extra 50 cents or $1, that would have been great. But then when they don't, now that puts me at the risk of giving back all of my gain of maybe 4 or 5 smaller winners in one loss. And that can be really, you can feel really defeated after doing that. And then you end up sitting here potentially trying to make back that loss for the next like 2-3 hours. So anyways, that's it for me. It's about 11:15. I'm not going to overstay my welcome today. I'll live to trade another day. Green day in the books. And as always, for those tuning in on YouTube, I'm going to upload this recap. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. Thank you for your comments on the recaps the last few days. If you'd like to check us out, you can come over to warriortrading.com, and I'll open this in a new tab. This is the members dashboard. But if you come over to warriortrading.com, you'll know you're on the website because you'll see a picture of me. Almost every page has a picture of me. Now, that was a request I had to make of the developer. I said, listen, anywhere on this website where someone's navigating, they've got to see a picture of me, you know, and it's got to be my good side, which is from the front, from left and right. So I'm actually good from like all sides, which is, you know, they say that's rare. It's funny you should mention this. They say it's very rare. My chiropractor, he, you know, does an adjustment. He said, I want to get a marble sculpture made of your body because you, sir, you are the definition of perfection, a body chiseled by the gods. But, you know, I try not to get too ahead of myself with any of this stuff. So anyways, that's me. And then if you want to just use the scanners, you can always go over to Day Trade Dash. And this is where you'll have access just to the scanners. No classes, but you can do the scanners, and you can add my stream if you want as well. It's about $300 a month. So that'll include charts as well. You can see we've got the charts right here. These are in beta. We'll be rolling these out to members soon. So anyways, some updates there, and I'll see you guys back at it tomorrow morning. And wow, I can't believe it's already Thursday. So coming to the end of the week here, and I thought I was going to have jury duty tomorrow and I wasn't going to show up, but they said jury duty was canceled. So I'm relieved, and I will be here tomorrow morning. So that's it for me. Enjoy the rest of the day. A reminder, as always, trading's risky. My results aren't typical, so take it slow, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Oh, and there goes top. You can see right there, TOP pinned to the halt down, 87.36. Choppy, choppy, choppy.